If it's coming from within and coming from your own initiative, then there's more ownership, there will be more drive, more passion, generally in terms of service improvement.
I left Henderson and went to a day centre called the Leatherhead Clubhouse. It's sort of like work orderated day, and I really wanted to give something back, so I started to do user involvement. And it was my own recovery, really. I used user involvement, and then I did the leadership training course.
When you meet with other people, you're hearing other people's stories, so you recognise some experiences which are common to you as well. But also you find yourself in a forum or a space where you want to speak out, or you feel safe to speak out, and you realise that you're not alone in this experience.
Well, service users' experiences are useful in that they are frontline, first-hand experience of what it is like.
It's quite difficult to judge how the service user voice is actually heard and impacted upon. Whether we have any impact, in fact. Although, we can shout and shout. But are they listening? That's the question. The main charities like Together, Rethink and Mind all need to be upfront in their campaigning to fight for people's liberty and freedom, and to be counted and heard, and not just to be labelled.
I grew up in the system, I grew up in care, and it let me down, and that's how I look at it. So for my own personal thing, it took me a long time.
She had loads of trouble even getting interviews because
people who've gone through the system, like myself, can help people to to move on, show them different ways of working.
I met other service users and was hearing their stories and experiences of what they'd gone through with the mental health services or the National Health Service. I'd recognise things. I think that happened to me.
There was a girl and she didn't speak, she wrote, because she had a breakdown and she was so frightened she couldn't even speak, and she was such a lovely girl, and I remember thinking that was me like 6 months ago. And I went and sat with her and I talked to her, and I knew she wouldn't talk back to me, but she just smiled, and I just said, I was like you 6 months ago and I never thought I'd come out of it, and look at me now, I'm like, I know I'm a bit gobby and I'm from Barnsley, but I'm back to my old self, I'm bubbly again. And I just look at you and it's like looking in a mirror 6 months ago.
When I attend the groups, I do have a sense of belonging, but what is more important is the force that's behind it, because it's not just me saying something that needs doing. It's a whole group saying, look, you've got to change.
thanks, Vicky.
Who've experienced mental health issues.
Finding out ways in which services are provided and can be improved, like today's meeting is all about quality assurance. So there's always something new to, it seems there's always something new to learn.
Everyone's coming from the same playing field. It's equal. Everyone's got a mental health problem, a different one, but everyone knows that.
We've got service user-led research already, but I think...
So it's skills, and hopefully, eventually, I'd like, through voluntary work and training, I'd eventually like to move into that area of work.
It was a big step for me to go back to work. It was good to talk to professionals, to coordinate service users, to give them the training and the skills so they can have a voice in the system without shouting.
I would really like to see commissioners, policymakers recognising and supporting involvement led by people who are using the services. So providing the support
and the resources for people to organise themselves and lead the way.
There's thousands of us out there, all individuals. We have some form of mental health issue. Doesn't make us any different to anybody else. We are still individuals. We would like to be heard.
I think it's so important for whatever services are being provided that there is not an us and them. If we're going to deliver something which is supposed to be of the worth that is implied, it's supposed to be helping service users. You have to have service users right at the centre.
The customer knows best in terms of what they need and what they want from a service, and that should be applied really within health services.
People under detention, they won't have a choice.
And my dream is that people who use services will deliver services in the future.
Forgotten dreams on your way in life, spirit unseen, broken heart, tomorrow gone. On your way in life, without your song.